Having spoken with his companions, Prometheus could gauge more or less how they were faring to spend their time in this land. By all accounts, none of them seemed like they were ready to leave, even though all of them could and rightly should just head off and live their own lives. But they all had reasons to be here, even if they were not necessarily going to become its lord or baron. In fact, none of them seemed to have any aspiration of doing so whatsoever. Which did not really surprise Prometheus. He didn't have any such aspiration either. For one way of seeing it, they had all just given that responsibility to him to enjoy the fruits of their success without necessarily having any of the responsibility to be saddled with it. That thought gave him a frown. Nevertheless, it was time for him to report on his success. Hello, welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker with me, Boltish McGammar. I hope you enjoyed all the talking I did last episode, or if you didn't listen to that, hello, welcome back to the future. Let us begin. Hey, Oleg. Rostov awaits. I plan to set off right away. The fog seems to be thinning, but you should wait until it burns off completely. In the meantime, I'll gather some supplies for your journey to make sure you can enjoy your trip back to Rostov. And we're back. I say we're back. You know, it's a loading screen. Oh, this is a nice small little room.
Nice to see I haven't lost my intuition for people. Not many would have managed to set out to the stolen lands and return with the Stag Lord's head, but I knew you could handle it. You've pulled it off even faster than I expected. Very good. We were short of time, and these months you've won for us proved very useful. Lord Mayor Selemius especially appreciated it, and asked me to give you this little token of gratitude.
Excellent! A sword! We're probably going to sell it.
Congratulations are in order. Today, you'll receive the title of Baron before the High Society of Rostov, and even Natala Sertova personally. God's bless her. Tomorrow, you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands if you wish, but this time, as a ruler. But matters of state can wait. For now, enjoy this feast in your honor. All the city leaders are here. It's a great opportunity to make some useful connections. Speaking of connections, let me introduce you to Kasil Eldori. He's my adopted son and apprentice. He's a trustworthy man. I'd like to send him with you as an envoy.
Kasil, a young half-orc with impeccable poise, performs a textbook-perfect bow. Jamandi, just what kind of game are you playing? I think I have the right to know.
Yes, you certainly have that right. But tell me, how well do you know Brevoy's history or the current political atmosphere? It won't be an easy explanation.
What do I need to know about the history of Brevoy?
What's now called Brevoy was originally two different countries, Rostland and Issia. 200 years ago, they were stuck in constant squabbles. Then, Coral the Conqueror showed up and united the two states into one. Such diplomatic tricks are easy to manage when you have dragons at your disposal.
I see.
The so-called noble houses of Brevoy, mainly Sertova, Orlovsky, and Lebeda, once ruled over Issia. We, the Eldori, ruled Rostland. The royal house Rogarvia, founded by Coral the Conqueror, forced us into obedience. But 200 years isn't long enough to make peace with such a troubled history. Even 2,000 years wouldn't be enough for us to accept Issian rule. Brevoy is a country held together by a thread, and that thread grows ever weaker.
What do I need to know about the current political atmosphere?
We, the Eldori and the great noble houses, spent 200 years under the rule of invaders, the royal house Rogarvia. We plotted, we schemed, we stabbed each other in the back. But open confrontation was out of the question. But a few years ago, House Rogarvia disappeared. No one knows how or why, but one day, their manors were just empty. And the force that held Brevoy together, that kept us from a bloody feud, ceased to be.
Hmm.
Brevoy is currently ruled by the House Sertova, the former kings of Issia, but their power pales in comparison to that of House Rogarvia when they were here. So now Sertova and Aldori stand facing each other, staring each other in the eye, waiting for the other to draw their sword. It's an untenable situation. No one wants a civil war that would drown Brevoy in blood, but peace between us is also out of the question.
Very unfortunate. What role do I play in your plans?
Rostland wants to regain its independence, and we will regain it. The power the Issians hold over us is humiliating and costly, and the Sertovas won't give us our freedom without a fight. That is, unless there is some external power that can force everyone to sit down and talk. Do you see where this is going? The stolen lands are disputed territory. Brevoy can't appropriate them without raising protests from each of the neighboring states. However, if some brave people were to found independent states on that land, it would be another matter entirely. My hope is that you and your future neighbors, Baron Hannes Drelev and Captain Maegor Varn, will become our allies. But even your neutrality would introduce a powerful counterbalance to the aggression of the noble houses. Maybe, with your help, the inevitable division of Brevoy can occur without too much pain.
Don't the Sword Lords have any other foreign allies capable of playing this role?
We hope to get some help from the Maivani Aldori, the descendants of the Sword Lords who have fled from Coral's rage to build a new nation in the south. But the Issians know this well, and are doing everything they can to deny us this help. I won't go into details, but if my intelligence is correct, if a civil war starts in Brevoy, Maivan will be too occupied with its own inner troubles to interfere.
What part does Rostov play in this game?
Rostov is a free city, proud of its independence from everyone, including the Aldori Sword Lords. But when it comes to Rostland's liberation, our goals align. This whole plan is our joint creation with Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius.
If Natalia is already here, why did she let you grant me the title?
Actually, she could still intervene and disrupt the proceedings. But she's a Sertova. Their games are always complex and multi-layered. They're always looking for ways to turn defeat into victory. If she's decided to allow you to become a Baron, it means she already has some idea of how she can turn it to her benefit. Let's consider how she could do so. Maybe she understands that Rostland will inevitably separate and she doesn't want a war. In that case, new states in the Stolen Lands give the Issians a reason to sit down and talk without losing face. But that's an optimistic view, and truth be told, it doesn't quite match up with what we've come to expect from the Sertovas. The more likely scenario is that Natala wants to win you over to her side. If war breaks out and at least one of you stabs us in the back, Rostland will be surrounded by enemies. That might be enough to bring about our downfall. But you would fall first, and your newly formed states would be left in ruin. The Issians always like to have someone around to pull their chestnuts out of the fire for them. A piece of friendly advice? Don't do business with House Sertovas, no matter what promises they make you. Any deal with the noble houses is a deal with devils.
In the back of his mind, Prometheus thinks, what truly makes you any different? Yes, you helped me found my state, but you're using me as a tool for a future war. And that doesn't really sit well with him. No one's given a barony for free, and it seems like this is the price. Well, what happens next?
How should I know? We're in the middle of a big game. And today, you move from being merely a piece on the board to being one of the players.
I see. Well, thank you for that explanation.
I hope you have a better understanding of what's at stake.
Do you already know about my encounter with Tartuccio?
Of course. Keston gave me a full report. You dealt with the scoundrel perfectly. It would be naive to think that none of your neighbors will try to stick their hands in your affairs. Especially that sly fox Iravetti.
I'm not sure if I need an envoy.
Don't think I'm trying to impose a nanny or a spy on you. We're neighbors now. You'll need someone knowledgeable about Brevoy's politics to act as an ambassador to your court. If you don't like Casil, you're free to choose someone else, but I won't be able to vouch for the loyalty or trustworthiness of another envoy.
Thank you. I'm going to speak with the guests.
Enjoy your evening. When you're ready for the official part, come to me.
Very good. Alright, so we have a feast and everybody's here. We can talk to a guard. Oh, torture. I guess eating and drinking we can't even move. Yeah. Tough luck, buddy. Amiri. Their wine is alright, nice and strong, but the appetizers, barely a mouthful. Cat has nothing to say. That was you who dealt with the Stark Lord. Allow me to shake your hand. These people are not just celebrating. It seems your feast has given them new hope. Oh, I accidentally walked through. What do we trigger?
Will you drink with me?
You see Casey approaching, the tiefling you met during the battle at Jamandi Aldori's mansion. As she draws near, she places one of the cups of wine she's holding into your hand. Do you want to get right down to business? You know what, let's be cordial, let's drink. To beauty!
To beauty. It sweetens our happy days and brings solace to our dark and sorrowful ones. But jokes aside, I came to apologize. I know the words I said in our conversation with Lady Aldery might have offended you, but this was not my intention. The lessons life has dealt me were not easy. I've learned to be wary of new acquaintances, which is why I've refused to join your party. I hope you will forgive me for this weakness and for my harsh words. And I hope you will hear me out, for I have something to tell you.
No need to apologize. I don't expect everyone I meet to immediately fall under my charms and trust me with all their secrets. Or apology accepted. What did you want to tell me? First I'll listen to what you have to say, and then I'll decide to think of your repentance, or show your duplicity once. I won't have anything further to do with you. No, we're going to listen to this person. Apology accepted. Simple. Short, to the point. No, we'll go with one. That's more fun.
Amusing. Usually those who don't seek affection are the very ones who receive it. Anyway, enough sweet talk. There is something important I wanted to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
As it happens, I came across some very valuable information. What brave conqueror of these wild lands wouldn't be intrigued by news of an ancient shrine, possibly full of great treasures? A place such as this was discovered by my old friends from Kadira, and it just so happens to be located in lands that today become rightfully yours. My friends lack the courage to enter the shrine and seek the treasure, but what will stop us? We who know the taste of battle and have been singed by the same fire.
He stops, looking at you expectantly. What could be better than a treasure hunt? I'm ready. It sounds tempting, but I need to think about it, or forgive me for your promises are not reassuring. I've no wish to have anything more to do. No, we like treasure hunt. Prometheus is, at his heart, an adventurer.
I'm sure you'd like to finally gain your official title and celebrate your victory. And I don't like noisy parties and ceremonies. Find me when you return to your dominion. I'll rent a house in your capital. We can discuss the details of our expedition there.
Excellent.
So long, friend. I'll call you so today because soon enough, all you'll be hearing is, Your Grace, Your Grace, Your Grace.
Saluting you with a cup, the tiefling girl steps back and disappears in the shadows between the columns. That character only becomes a companion if you have the DLC, and she's gone. I have it, so we will be doing that part of the story. All the guests are kind of generic, with the exception of the ones who are named. So let's over talk to Chandra. Ah yes, I see it's good if old Krestov hasn't changed a little bit. Even its smell of its streets is the same. Natala Servotova is discussing something with the unfamiliar old lady in a low voice. Upon noticing you, she breaks into a sugary sweet smile. You are not only tough, but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while you can. Is that a threat? I would never. I simply wish to warn you, in case you don't fully realize the fate that awaits you and your barony. What do you think awaits me? Nothing good, I fear. The Aldori, our dearest friends, didn't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume? You see, they're preparing to separate from Bravoy. It will not be a peaceful process. They lack the strength currently, hence using this legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your lands will be the first to endure a strike from Bravoy's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in independent Rostov to honor you. Well, I wouldn't count on even that, really. Well, what would you propose? In your situation, the most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Bravoy, the noble houses. The Eldori won't dare claim to rebel, knowing they will immediately become outstrapped. You could help Bravoy avoid a civil war while simultaneously enjoying some well-deserved peace in your lands. I believe Jamandi has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her low-born stepson, the green-skinned boy Kessil. It's up to you, of course, but I would recommend you to a different envoy. Please meet Chandra Murphy, an experienced diplomat who's more familiar with Bravoy's policies than any brawler could be. The old woman standing next to Natal gives you a slight bow. I would be happy to help you establish diplomatic relations with Bravoy. I'll consider your proposal. Think on it. I do not make any hasty decisions. Fair enough. Good advice.
All according to plan.
Oh, Tartuccio. Well, Scum, how have we... Maybe I've had one too many. Pour one up to the brim so that oh, I must be drunk. I forgot the line. This man is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than a company of nobles. He's well built, but the expensive waistcoat he's wearing doesn't quite fit properly, as though it was borrowed. He has a few pale scars across his face, and his dark hair is drawn into an unkempt ponytail, with a few streaks of gray running through it. He greets you with a broad smile and a firm handshake. Let me introduce myself. I'm McGammar, one of the new rulers of the Dunswald, your neighbor to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a baron. Great job with the Stag Lord, by the way. Not everyone could exterminate a whole gang of bandits with just a small team. How did you earn the title of baron? Truth be told, my team and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Giovanni Aldori needed someone reliable to take hold of the territory. I'm the captain of a mercenary team, if that wasn't clear. Varnling Host. Have you heard of us? No? No matter. We're done with work with Giovanni before. This time, the task is simple. We just waltzed into the area, cleared the most brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. And for that, a barony and a land own. It was a dream job. How do you feel being noble? He looks to his rich clothes, and smirks. Like a peasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters, but this is the first time I've so strongly felt like turning away and running away could get me eaten. He nods towards the arrogant man in the other corner of the room. See that, lad? Baron Drelev. He's not like us. Who knows what generations of baron he is. He didn't even shake my hand. You and me? We're like dirt beneath his boots. That's why these like us, the newly made nobility, need to stick together. Otherwise, he'd take my land and yours in the blink of an eye. It was nice meeting you. Farewell. Goodbye. Once you settle in, come pay us a visit. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Hi, Jathal. They call this a feast. I'd show them some real festivities if they'd let me. I'm not sure we're up for your brand of festivities. Lander. A handsome, well-dressed young man of about 17 years old looks at you with a polite smile. I already don't like him. He has white hair. So you're the famous slayer of the Stag Lord's gang, soon to be baron? Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Lander. Pleasure meeting you. Goodbye. Wait, we know what I just met. This is the whole point of the parties such like this, making connections that could eventually grow into alliances. Truth be told, that's precisely why I wanted to speak with you about. You see, I am an heir to one of Brevoy's noble houses. I won't say which, but believe me, a newly appointed baron with no connections would do well to have a friend like me. I travel the country in secret without servants, so I can see it for myself, not from a carriage window, but face to face with the people. My family would never approve, of course, but then I'd never asked. I need to know, Ravoy, if I'm going to rule a part of it someday. I know Giamatti wants to oppose her stepson on you like an emissary of Brevoy. Refuse. Take me instead. Don't look at my age. While I may have been, while they may have trained this half-orc to swing a sword, I've been trained to rule since I was a child. I'll be a far greater use to you, both now and in the future, after I have a firm position in my family. Just slander? No last name? No title? Well, let's just say I'm here, incognito. Under any circumstance, it's wise to keep one's lineage to oneself. Ugh. Are from Rostovic nobility? Oh no, I'm not from here. I'm just visiting, you could say. I wanted to see for myself the heroes who managed to conquer the frontier lands, and the Lord Mayor was kind enough to invite me to this wonderful party. So if we go talk to somebody, we might learn who you actually are. Tell me again what you're doing here. I travel the country in secret, without servants, so I can see it for myself. Alright, you told this part. Tell me once more what you want from me. Yep, you already told me that. I'll consider your proposal. Yes, do so, and carefully. I hate him. Let's not. We have a couple more guests, and harem. A feast in times of pestilence. A ludicrous attempt to sink into reverse, into reverie, and to digress from contemplating one's own insignificance. Wow, you're just the life of a party, aren't you? Let's talk to Anastrelli. The man's gorgeous clothes hide rippling muscles beneath them. He looks past your ear, obviously bored. Anastrello, he says, offhandedly, emphasizing the word baron. And you must be the Stag Lord Butcher. I'm sorry, I quite forget your name. But you took out the Stag Lord in this gang, and so Sword Lord Jamandi is granting you permission to take his place, right? Well, congratulations. My lands lie to the west of yours. I suppose we're neighbors now. You're not very polite for a nobleman. Huh. Politeness must be deserved. Yes, I defeated the Stag Lord. Pray tell, what did you do to deserve your new domain? A smirk appears on the Baron's face. I don't need to deserve or prove anything. Countless generations of my glorious ancestors have done so for me. If I had a slightly bigger army, Sword Lord Jamandi would have simply given all the stolen lands to me. Alas, I don't have so many soldiers at my disposal, so she had to urgently make barons of the likes of you and Varn. So you have no army, and no special merits, you were just given land for being pretty. Under other circumstances, I've had you whipped for such words. But let's not ruin Lady Aldori's celebration, If you want to so badly measure your merits, we can do so another time. Oh, all the lights just flickered on. Goodbye. Not even deigning to reply, Baron Drelev turns around and looks away. I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't mean anything in this game. But in the tabletop version, oh boy, that guy's real important. They had to shift some things around. Let's go talk to Valerie. Truth be told, I'm not really comfortable here. I lost my taste for high society. Fair enough. How about Octavia?
Try the eclairs. They're just delicious.
Huh! To victory! To freedom! Bottoms up! Bottoms up! Yes! There, right? We have a very important person to talk to here who I might fail checks with. So what I'm gonna do? Gonna slap myself with a nice good old heroism. Give myself a quick save. And then let's talk to this guy. A handsome man with a weather-beaten face grasps your hand tightly in his rough, calloused palms. Unlike the rest of the guests in their festive clothes, he wears a simple robe. The only luxury you see on him is a holy symbol of Aristil made of solid gold. The other guests looked at him with respect, some bordering on awe. "Congratulations on your victory," he says in a deep voice. I'm sorry. "Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ezran Zikig, High Priest of Erstin in Rostov." Let's use our diplomacy here. Bringing law into stolen lands is a difficult endeavor. I would be grateful for any help that you could spare. "This is truly a noble undertaking. I believe our community will be able to provide you with a reasonable assistance. We will help you construct a shrine in your capital, free of charge." You're dressed surprisingly simply for a festive occasion. The corners of the priest's mouth turned up in a faint smile. "The nobles dressed in silks and satin to stand out from the poor. A priest wears a simple robe to stand out from the nobles." Do many people in Rostov venerate Aristotle? "There are many gods in Rostov. They pray to Abadar, patron of cities, and Phantasma, gatherer of souls. There are also some more rare cults. But there's no denying that the stag god has the largest congregation here. And no wonder. People here have lived off the farming and hunting for centuries. It was an honor to meet you. Goodbye. It will still keep you." I'm going to load. I'm going to load because I missed a dialogue choice. I cannot fail the diplomacy check with my heroism buff, but I missed seeing one bit of dialogue, and I failed so many skill checks up to this point that I feel like I should try to fish for this one. I didn't get it. We'll try one more time. I'm pretty sure I need to make a lore religion check. Pretty sure. We'll only do this like one or two more times. Looks like it's not triggering. One more time. Or it could just be like a fixed roll. I could just be failing over and over again, too. It might be a higher check that I'm capable of getting right now as well. I did not really put a lot of points into lore religion because other party members were doing that for me. One more try. No. Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong person. Let's see. We have Casil. Today is a historic day for Rostov, and maybe for all of Brevoy. And over here we have the mayor. An older man with a full sideburns looks at you with interest through golden eyeglasses.
"Oh, now, this is the hero of festivities, the protege of our dear Jamandi. You pulled this off quite cleverly. I confess I wasn't convinced if our enterprise would succeed. I haven't had a better bottle of my best Pataxian wine against you. But I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Aldori have always been adept at finding new talent."
I don't believe we've been introduced.
"So a team. I am Yosef Stelimidius, Lord Mayor of Rostov. I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your northern neighbor, I hope we can look forward to a long and fruitful friendship."
So you rule Rostov. What about the Aldori?
Brevoy's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here in this part of Rossin, the spirit of northern freedom still lives. We're loyal to the throne, of course. May the gods prolong the life of His Highness. But here, far from the dominion of the great houses, we have our own way of life. It's especially important now, as there are certain events I probably don't need to name. The Aldori Sword Lords used to rule Rossin. They're still the largest landowners and main military force in the region, but it's not for nothing that Rostov is called a free city. We're proud to choose a Lord Mayor from among the citizens, considered not by their lineage, but by their own merits.
I like that. What kind of events were you talking about? He gives you a patronizing smile.
Why, an aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house of Rogarvia. Can you imagine it? The old coral conqueror of our land 2 centuries ago. It would be shameless to say that nobody wished to see a royal house could just disappear into thin air, but once the exact same thing happened, turned out nobody was ready for it. Whew! All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It's a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone.
I hate the way that you phrased that. How are the things in Rostov?
I don't want to boast, but things have been going well for the recent years. Trade's prosperous, population grows, and citizens are happy. Although, especially after the disappearance of the House Rogue Avia, more and more troublemakers have been appearing and people are talking about most shocking things. But those sorts of rumors aren't worthy of your attention. It was nice meeting you. Goodbye. Please, wait just a moment. Your young barony will need resources to establish itself, and from what I've been told, you're somewhat in need of financial assistance. I could organize and supply everything you need for the construction and spread out the cost of extremely favorable terms. I could immediately procure you, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that you would give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask you a small favor. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligations of contracting the building services through Restov's Builders Guild. Do we have a deal?
That's a terrible loan! No! No, I know enough about finances to know that I'm not going to take a deal like this. I have more than enough gold to start my barony. And this, like, 500 build points. Like, that's a lot, but no, that's a loan. That you have to pay that off. No. Thank you for the offer, but I can't accept it.
It's your choice, of course. I just figured I'd mention it.
It was nice meeting you.
The feeling is mutual, I assure you. I look forward to hearing more of your dazzling success soon.
Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Jamandi.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings?
Before we begin, I'd like to talk about the envoy I'll be taking with me.
My apprentice, Cassil Aldori, will go with you.
I am absolutely not taking Lander. And Chandra just strikes me as even more manipulative. I have to take one, so I guess I will take Cassil. Yeah, that's my decision.
Whatever you choose, I won't argue. But you must choose your inner circle with the utmost care.
I'd like to speak with the guest some more.
Enjoy the feast. You deserve it.
And we got a bit of voice dialogue. Did I miss anyone? Let's see. Valerie's there. Reg and Octavia. Harem. The Smilodon. We talked to Keston. We talked to Chandra. It's weird that the priest guy isn't there. He was very important. Getting that, like, extra shrine assistance from him was actually really nice. Alright.
So, how do you like our... Excellent. Stand here. Lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon, Captain Maegor Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword, and finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward.
Okay. Thank you.
On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
These are the kind heroes we needed. The long years have been kind to Ravoy. Amazing. But now we'll zip back over to the new side of our capital. Celebration is over. Now it's time to return to the Stormlands. This time, not as some simple adventurer, but as a ruler. But will we measure up to the expectations of everyone? Only time will tell. Uh-huh.
Victory! The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
That's a good shot. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Greetings, Baron!
Greetings, Baron.
Welcome, Your Grace. Keston salutes you. You can see he's a bit anxious, and it seems he's rehearsed his speech many times. Let me once again congratulate you on your victory and your new title. Lady Jamandi transferred me here, and I am at your disposal. I'm not one to bestow honors, but I want you to know I'm glad to serve you. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of your new capital citizens. The Stag Lord's former stronghold will soon be a thriving city. Word travels fast, and the first settlers have already arrived, with new ones approaching as we speak. While you were visiting Rostov, much has been done here. Your benefactors, the Aldori, invested a great deal of resources in rebuilding the city. I stand ready to answer your questions and show you around the most important sites. Uh, where, where, where are my companions? They're all somewhere around here, but I never kept an eye on who went where exactly. Well, I assume Tristan is with Jod, and you can always find Lindsay, just follow the noise and turmoil. Uh, are there any citizens I should know about? Our old acquaintance Jod is right here. Aristotle's clerics normally don't like cities much, but he's eager to serve you. Also, the emissary from Brevoy is here, waiting for you to in the throne room. There's also the curious matter of an elf has paid us visits, a blind elf. Desna only knows how he managed to get here. He seems a peaceful, even pleasant fellow, though naturally a little odd. So I let him stay a while. Maybe you can take a listen to him. It's up to you whether you decide what to do with him. That's about it, I guess. He scratches his head. What's the mood of the people here? I must admit, I've never seen anything like this in my whole life. A city, a whole barony, poured right in front of our eyes. The people sense the moment, and today we're feeling proud. As a rule, I'm not too cheerful or chatty. I normally feel out of place among all the rejoicing, but today is just one of those days. The main question is, where can I get a drink or three? It's time to toast my victory! He hesitates for a brief moment and then laughs. I'll make sure to show you the moment we enter the city. The tavern was the first business I opened. Building a city is thirsty work, and I beg your forgiveness for my behavior during your reception. I drank a little too much. It is a day for celebration. I'm ready to look around the city. Lead the way. Follow me, Your Grace. Some common folk, thank you. Greetings, Your Grace. We, well, your new subjects. We're selecting a site to build our house. Well, along the road's a good one, unless you don't like traffic. It's wet near the lake and windy up here on the hill. A fine place to throw garbage at your neighbors. Your neighbors' heads through. Out! Please don't throw garbage at your neighbors. They're also new here. It's a good thing you got rid of those monsters and bandits, Your Grace. Yeah, not a problem, little guy. Please don't call me little. Okay. You recognize this place, Your Grace. This was Sang Lord's fortress wall used to be. Not that saved him in the end, huh? I barely recognize it at all. He filled in the pit really nicely. Our workers did a fine job turning the bandit den into the heart of town. Do we have our first merchant? Heart of every town is its main square. We plan to hold street festivals and fairs here. Look, we already have our first vendor. Excellent! I look forward to visiting you many times. Greetings, Your Grace. If you turn to the right from the square, you'll end up straight in our tavern. Excellent. So we just go east. You cannot speed this along. The tavern's ale is blessed by Caden Kalen himself, I swear. And the lady who owns it is a gem. I've heard our baron is as tall as a troll, and hair as pure gold can breathe fire. Oh, well, that's all nonsense, except for the part about breathing fire. All barons can breathe fire, trust me. Alright, people aren't knowledgeable in this universe. They don't have schools to tell them what's right. Welcome, Your Grace. Glad to serve you. We need to make a school. Your Grace, those are our guards. They keep order in the city, or keep their mouths busy and gossip. That text went by a little bit quick. Here's the observation platform. I hope one day your capital will grow large enough and we'll be able to see its full extent from this perch. I hope that you build a tower here so that we can still do so. It's nice to see things going along, though. The building in front of us is your residence. That is where we'll head to now. And we're here. It's not exactly a castle, it's more of a wide house. But you know, we all gotta start somewhere. It's better than some sticks in the mud. So, now we've reached our main chambers. This is the throne room, where you'll hold court and receive visitors. We draw your attention to this large map depicting your barony and surroundings. We'll mark all the important scout reports and other news worthy of your grace's attention. Having finished the speech, Kesson tucks his thumbs under his belt and stands quietly. Greetings, your grace. Kessel, Lady Jamandi's ward, gives a white bow. It was a pleasure to meet you at Restov's reception. On behalf of your allies and the benefactors, the Eldoroi Sword Lords, I'd like to offer you some advice. We have all of our effects, we have our new events, we have everything we need. Solve most of your barony's problems by granting appointments to the right people, responsible people. But certain state businesses will demand your personal attention, as will the visits of especially important guests. Reports of such outstanding events will be marked on your map. You can always check it while considering your plans. We have many new events. According to the ancient traditions of Brevoy, and most of the river kingdoms, rulers address affairs of state and receive visitors at the beginning of the month. My advice to you is to maintain this tradition and regularly visit your capital when needed. The first thing you should do as a ruler is assign loyal people to all the important positions in your barony. Your clerics, Jard and Tristan, are the first to seek an audience. I won't distract you further, and now leave you to consider. Once again, my congratulations. May your rule be long and prosperous. Oh, thank you. He's very polite. Your Grace, allow me to congratulate you on receiving the title of Baron. I am confident that you will be able to bring order to these troubled lands. Jard stumbles slightly. Oh, to be honest, this isn't exactly what we wanted to speak to you about. Tristan and I have been talking a great deal about what happened at the Temple of the Elk. It doesn't at all make sense to us yet. One thing is clear, there is a powerful curse at work. It corrupts the very essence of the sacred place, steeping it with putrescence. Ugh, I'm disgusted by whatever or whoever could do this. He exhales loudly, catching his breath. And now there's a new woe. Tristan and I believe the curse did not simply disperse of its own accord. There's a place near the capital, rumored by the locals to be cursed. Tristan and I visited this dreadful place, about the same putrescence as the Temple of the Elk. What is this place? Where is it? There's a bald hilltop not far from here, to the north of the capital. Its crown is entirely barren of life. The locals believe the rituals glorifying the dark gods were held there back in ancient times. There is no longer any trace of such rituals, but the air around the hilltop is heavy to the point of stifling. The place is like a rotting wound, close but not healed. And this wound will undoubtedly open again. Tristan and I felt something approaching, something ominous. The curse will soon return to plague us once more. I swear by Eristil. I'll go there as soon as I'm able. I would be happy to accompany you, but I would not expect you to see anything new there at present. I agree with Tristan. We have been at this hilltop. It is barren, but filled with a dense atmosphere of unease. Well, what do you suggest? The curse will grow in strength, and we predict it will reach its peak in strength in about 1 month. That's when we should visit the bald hilltop and resolve this issue. For now, we can only wait and prepare. We beg your pardon, your grace, for defeating with you about it. We're getting a grasp of your barony. I'm sure you have more pressing matters to hand right now. And we do. And so the capital was built in 1 day.
I tire.
Of course my character's tired. Of course he is. He just went forward and back and did a whole party and then just came here. Yeah, he's tired. No duh. But he's going to complain about the entire time. It's the 9th of Desnus. My character's birthday is tomorrow. What is the name of the barony? It cannot be changed later. Well, he would name this... Gold Grove. Not God Grove. My L key is a little bit sticky. There we go. Old keyboard. I'll need to replace it soon. Prometheus Gold Weave leads from Gold Grove. Now then. Oh boy, that's a lot of paper. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, we have regions. We can try to claim a region. That seems important. Not yet. We need to assign some advisors. Let's see here. For our regions, Valerie and Octavia have about the same bonus. Let's go with Valerie. For our counselor, Tristian has a much larger bonus than Radigan. Sorry, Radigan, we're gonna go with Tristian here. For our general, Ragongar is the strongest. We're gonna go with Ragongar. For our treasurer, we have only one choice. Our specially created ally, Radigan. Because he is a mercenary and doesn't have a lot of personality, he gets a -4 penalty to this. But he's better than not having anyone there at all. I don't know why the portrait did that. Oh well. Mercenary things. For my high priest. Weird that we can't put Tristian in this position. I think I will go to Jod, because, Harem... sorry, let's go with traditional gods. And we're good. We have 5 people assigned. Excellent. If you hover your mouse over one of your people who are down here, you can see what positions they're able to take. Some people don't fill any positions, like Lindsay, which is a shame. Wait, storyteller. I don't know who that is yet. Oh well. Let's save the game again, just to be sure. Let's see, what we got here? Trade agreement. That's gonna take more money than we have. Nope. An offer. You know what? Yeah, we need this. Let's get you a bonus. Actually, this can't fail. Let's have Radigan begin that right now. Actually, hold on. I think if my priest does that... If my priest does that, then they should get a bonus to points. So let's have that. Let's see. Trade agreement. We can't afford it. Sorry, I'm going through this. Pillage the Temple of the Elk. No, we don't want to destroy that. Rebuild the Temple of the Elk. We'll do that one day, but that takes 60 days to resolve. We're not going to do that anytime soon. Let's see, who else? Can that be done by... Yeah, that has to be done by the cleric as well. So that's unfortunate. We can research curses, but only the cleric can do that. The cleric needs more bonuses before they do stuff like that. And that's all we can do. Now then, as for acclaiming a new region, we absolutely should be doing that right now. We need to pick someone to join for us for this. We will get a bonus to their stat for this. So, we probably want to buff Valerie's rolls. And let's start the claim. 1 week passes, or 2 weeks rather. Somehow we get no rest during any of this time. Alright. And so we have claimed new land. We have wasted no time expanding our territory. Beautiful. Happy birthday to you, Baron! The Baron's birthday is a special day for our young ancient. It's thanks to him that we had the opportunity to claim the stolen lands and establish a new country in Golarion. Today is a day to forget about your troubles and revel in the celebration. Today is a day to remember. Demandi Eldori has sent our best sword lords to participate in friendly combat to demonstrate their skill. Without a doubt, this will be a feast for the eyes. Nice! We got extra build points and everything. It sure is nice that my birthday just so happened to arrive right after I finished building my barony, so I can start with this little boost immediately. The offer is complete. Beautiful. Okay, troubled lands. This area needs some help. Both of them have a really good bonus to this, but I don't want to assign that yet. Let's go to our capital. Let's build. We can rename the capital, and we're going to rename this as much as we like. I'm going to leave it as Tuskdale for now. Let's look at the city building aspect of the game. So, right now we have, our main hall, a tavern, and not a lot else. So that's a problem. We need to build. We have a small grid. We have an outline of where we can build what and where. we get one free shrine. It will give us divine. We want it. It's free. Build the shrine. Now then, I would need a longhouse. It's difficult to read, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the options menu. Things tend to go off the screen if your game's text size is a little bit too big. And the game's text size can be found, yeah, here we go. Like that. Yeah, things will stop going off the edge of the screen. This is really hard for you guys to read, but it's fine. We need a longhouse. It's a building for hosting meetings and discussions. It affects literally everything. It's the center of your community. We need one. A little boost to the economy and the peers would be great, but we don't really need that yet. All these little points, these are tiny little drops in the sea of things that you need to be able to, like, get your barony going. Alright, so we're building a shrine. What can I build next to the shrine? I think I need an herbalist hut. Yep. If this is built next to a shrine, it gives us arcane. I need that. And this is also incredibly good. If you are lawful, you can build a bulletin board. It gives you military might. But in addition to that, it gives you a +2 bonus to resolving problems in this region. I think it stacks. This is how you make sure you win this part of the game. Just be lawful. It's possible to do this part of the game without that, but wow, that's amazing! Alright, so we've spent some of our build points. We've spent about a little over 100 of it. We don't need much more than that right now. Actually, let's take a look at our stats. Is anything close to 20? Loyalty's at 20. Yeah, that'll be able to upgrade soon. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. It would be nice to build walls. They're cosmetic. I don't need them right now. I need my points for other things. I just wanted to build that bulletin board and get the free shrine up and going now. I will build other things later, but money is limited. So, now that we have a building up here, let's go and put down a building here. Since we have this region, we can build a settlement here. Let's do it. And now it's here. We don't really have a reason to build anything here yet, but we have it. I could get it going and getting started and established and building and all that. I don't need to yet. Okay, so let's look at the problems in our region. Harem has a request. We'll listen to that later. Counselor awaits you in the throne room. We'll listen to that later. Troubled lands. What do we do to do this? I think I want to get more military might. Let's have our Gongar deal with this. It's a DC 7. Alright, so we have a pretty good odds of beating this. We could use a crisis point. We don't get infinite amounts of those, but we could use that one guarantee an early roll. And the beginning of the game is where these rolls are the hardest. Because these are also the rolls that matter the least. So let's start that up. Alright, let's head on back to the throne room. We've done our city management for now. We're good. We'll do more of it later. What a capital. A house, a shrine, an herbalist hut to be able to fix all your woes, and a bulletin board to post all your problems, so that hopefully they get resolved. One day we might build more. We don't have the ability to build a school yet. And there are unique buildings for the other alignments too, like chaotic and evil. I don't think there are any exclusive to neutral. But different characters will have different plans. I'm glad I have a lawful good nation. Now, Prometheus's alignment might shift away from lawful and or good. But, for right now, this is what the kingdom is. I'm pretty sure the kingdom can change, but it takes many, many weeks after when you change to be able for it to change. To be able to have it change. So your alignment at that point is what it tends to get stuck at. And I'm okay with that. Personally, I think a neutral good kingdom looks nicer. Just like as it builds and develops. But I really like having the bulletin board. The bulletin board is really, really nice. There is also an option inside the settings that would allow this saving and loading time to be better, but would impact more RAM usage on the computer. And, mine's already a little bit long in the tooth. Yes? Oh, good. The text is tiny. Yeah, it's gonna be like this. Tristan lowers his head. Greetings, Baron. I am sorry to take you away from your other affairs, but your people need you. When the stolen lands were freed from the Stag Lord, the people sighed in relief, but many are still confused by their swift change of fortune. Truth be told, they simply don't know what to think of their new Baron, nor what to expect of you. Will you be a fair ruler for all, or only for those of wealth and status? Let us reassure our people. Show them where your favor truly rests. Perhaps a small celebration would help win them over. Of course, you could spend the same amount of luxurious dinner for the wealthiest of your barony, but I recommend organizing a fair for the common people, the ones who are most shoulder the power truly resides. From a metagame standpoint, I know that you should favor the traders. It's how you get more economy in trade and things moving inside your thing. But Prometheus is a very nice person. Prometheus would want to support the little guy. I will not do nothing. That's boring. I will have Tristan make up his own mind because he already said what he will choose. Make up your own mind. I don't care who we pander to. Tristan's face darkens at your words, but he hides it, lowering his head. Then I shall commence preparations for the folk fair. That is not what I thought would happen there. That is not what I thought would happen there. I'm probably gonna undo that. Whatever. He disapproved. I don't like that he disapproved. Harem looks embarrassed. He runs a finger through his beard and clears his throat a few times, then speaks at last. I heard... not that important, but, well... He clears his throat again. I heard there's an ancient trade road built by the dwarves of the 5 King Mountains runs through these lands. I don't know what happened to them, or where they went. Unforgiving time spares no one, but the road itself is still here. And perhaps not only the road. Harem holds his beard in his fist. Well, Prometheus, I have a request. If you find any dwarven ruins in the area, I'd like to see them with my own eyes. Why do you ask this? He fiddles with his beard again. I shouldn't, probably. It's like a wound that's never healed. You know, will only hurt more, but you still need to scratch it. Of course, it's foolish and vain. But still, I wish to look at them. Oh, of course, Harem. If I find any dwarven ruins, I'll take you to them. Thank you, Prometheus. Well, thank you. Okay. And what have you got? Oh, Grace. I was holding trading posts recently, and I noticed old Bakken just standing there, bored to death with nothing to do. This is most unfortunate. After all, the old gambler is a very knowledgeable alchemist. However, he has no use for his skills, ever since the locals need nothing more than the simplest of healing potions. And then it struck me, why don't you hire him as your court alchemist? His decoctions and tinctures may certainly prove most useful to you. Also, it might be cheaper than simply buying from him or some other merchant. An artisan, you say? That does pique my interest. But for right now, Prometheus needs some time to get his stuff together. He needs to look around his new home, take a look around, like, get a feel for his capital, and also what kind of loose stuff they might have in a drawer that they don't mind parting with, and won't say anything about him taking. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm probably going to go back and redo Tristan's thing to make him happier, because I don't want to... If you make your advisors unhappy, they will eventually just leave the position. And I kind of don't want that to happen. So I do think I will go back and do that, but rather than redo the whole episode, yeah. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Later, Pathfinders.